Greetings, Patriots. Renegade here, or R as assigned the Facebook post. I am making this short video in response to the 4th of July and the Antifa plan. As a Patriot, I have some of the same thoughts and beliefs as you do. I have been in the movement a very long time. I just want to be clear that at times I will place out things that will piss you off. I can assure you, some of the facts I place out pisses me off as well. But in order for me to bring you the facts, I must bite my tongue and place out the truth so you will be informed on what's going on. It would not be fair to you and yours if I omitted key facts because I did not like them. Knowing this, in the future, just know no matter what, I will always place facts out like I have been and doing in all my videos. So, please don't get butthurt because you don't agree with it. Remember, if I did not care about you, the American patriot, I would not be doing this. So let's get on to what's on most of your minds as well as mine. That would be the Antifa plan on 4th of July. I'm sure most of you leaders have gotten an email, some form of text message, or in one of your groups. I will read what I got sent to us. I will read it for the ones who may not have seen it as to bring them up to speed. I have been seeing many references to July 4th. In my latest video, we know many patriots will be in Seattle because of Chaz or Chop situation. Now that the police went in this morning and cleaned them out, there's no longer a Chaz or Chops. I got many messages and comments that the 4th of July will be hot and interesting. I have also been seeing in many groups, like this example from Carlos. Let me quote him. The more I see, the more I get pissed. I'm so fucking ready. Look, as a former commander, I have had men die on the field. I have been boots on the ground too many times to count. I have been shot defending this country. I know what it is to be hot or cold out in the field. I know what it is like to be hungry. I know what it is like to have to walk with a bullet inside you to an LZ. I can assure you that no one is ever ready for war. I don't care how much you mentally prepare. I don't care how much you plan, something always fucks up and you have to improvise. Now, what's this so-called Antifa plan? In the email, it reads, Antifa plan, copy and share. A friend received an email just putting it out. Please be aware this July 4th, 30,000 members per state, many trained by radical Islam. They plan on killing as many Trump supporters and whites as possible. Antifa to desecrate Gettysburg National Cemetery on July 4th, then murder and burn white suburbs under the cover of fireworks. Antifa is planning to desecrate the Gettysburg National Cemetery by burning flags there on July 4th, just before they began murdering white people and burning down suburbs. The same day, it will start at the restoration of the Union soldiers' graves at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. According to the Controlled Unclassified Law Enforcement Bulletin issued by Law Enforcement Sensitive for official use only to police and fire department about Antifa already using fireworks to acclimate suburbia with sounds of explosions so they can use to cover for gunfire when they attack white suburban neighborhoods the same day. According to controlled unclassified information in a bulletin issued to police and fire departments, Antifa has been taking deliveries of very large shipments of professional-grade fireworks. They have been sending teams out to various areas throughout America to detonate those fireworks for the past 2 weeks to achieve 3 specific objectives. 1. The first objective is to test the response of local law enforcement if fireworks are going off around the clock, and if residents are filing complaints with police will respond. How long does it take them to respond? How many officers? Do they even respond at all? This data is being recorded by these groups and will provide to be very valuable intel for what is to come. This is very accurate barometer to test the water. 2. The second objective is to get local residents, i.e. white people in nearby neighborhoods, acclimated to the frequent sounds of explosions that often sound like gunfire. 3. The final objective, knowing response times and manpower of police and having acclimated the local population into explosion sounds like mimic gunfire, then commit arson attacks with professional fireworks to set many fires. Local emergency services are immediately overwhelmed and enter houses to actually fire guns and kill as many possible in white suburbs. Unless you have been living on a different planet, you should be fully aware that America is currently under attack. While mass media has portrayed the situation as peaceful protest, those engaged have been rioting, smashing private property, and business looting on a scale which is unparalleled, and beating, stabbing, shooting innocent people in areas where those activities are taking place. You have probably also read or overheard many reports of illegal fireworks explosions that are currently taking place throughout many different U.S. cities. If you do a Google search for firework complaints, you will find countless articles posted just last week or so. Most of these reports are local, since local news is far likely to have boots on the ground and residents reporting an accurate assessment as to which is actually going on. However, national media outlets are largely attempting to paint this uptick in fireworks activity as a sign of people being overly celebratory in preparation for the 4th of July. Here in Roanoke, I have been hearing fireworks each p.m. Last p.m. there were a lot. At first I thought of gunfire because the way they went off. Don't know. Here are the facts. So please pay close attention as result of major 4th of July events being shut down and canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic or overwhelming surplus of fireworks and have flooded the market. Several activist groups, Antifa, BLM, and Weather Underground, are exploiting this surplus and are bulk purchasing from suppliers in extremely high volumes. In many cases, they are highly dangerous professional grade fireworks. The number of people within these groups must not be underestimated. They operate like terrorists and use clandestine communication strategies. There are many members in these groups in most major cities and have been for several years. Yes, they are essentially domestic terrorist cells, as you've likely guessed. This is indeed the year in which they have been instructed to carry out their master's agenda. What are they doing? Is delivering fireworks in bulk via moving trucks and vans. You may have remembered the pallets of bricks that were dropped off at various locations so rioters can use these bricks to destroy property. This is a similar strategy. Once these fireworks are delivered, then they are distributing them to the black people who wish to set them off for their own entertainment. Previously under the guise of the non-existent Juneteenth holiday, and make sure these fireworks were set off almost continuously all day and night in various cities. This may not be a shock, as you likely aware that white matrix radicals are the ones who have been frequently arrested for burning buildings, cars during these riots. Again, those are activist terrorists who have covertly infiltrated those predominantly black areas. So this answers the question of who is responsible for the huge number of fireworks complaints that have been circulating for a week or more. You may remember a blip on Drudge and various other outlets not long ago about the riots reaching white neighborhoods and indeed the objective. The foundations of this great nation are in process of being literally erased. This should be clear by now. There is much hatred out there, and I expect it to rise its ugly head very soon. Pray for America. Now, is this fact or fiction? You know, it's rare for police to ask people not to call with an issue, but Gettysburg Police Chief Robert Glennie Jr. is asking everyone that is flooding both police station and 911 with calls, alerting them of posts circulating online about July 4th weekend so to stop calling. His message, he said, police are already aware of the rumors of protest of violence. And he, quote, if you are calling to report one of these posts, I can assure you that we already know, and please don't call us about these, said Chief Glennie, who added, with all these calls we're getting, we're having a hard time accomplishing other things like the investigation of the post. Glennie said he still wants people to call if they see anything suspicious, but he wants everyone to know the posts are already being investigated by experts on the local, state, and federal level. He said, we have sent all these other posts to the intelligence section both federally and statewide, and then we have our own small intelligence person working on them. Glennie spoke to several news outlets on Tuesday as new posts also arose that made claims of the police bulletin to warn Antifa plot. Glennie said the Gettysburg Police Department has not confirmed anything like that. In fact, that the so-called police bulletin is not from police. There's a rumor, this is a quote, there's a rumor going around on various social media platforms. Some people are getting it through Messenger, Facebook. The Gettysburg Police Department has confirmed its lengthy list of things and an Antifa plan, said Glennie. He later added, my guess is whomever did it cut and pasted the Gettysburg Police Department and phone number. I've also read the online post that also warned people stockpiling fireworks for harm and planning violence in the suburban neighborhoods. Additionally, these posts warn that people are setting off fireworks leading up to the 4th of July as part of a bigger plot to throw the police off and of the actual day of the event. Quote, we can put no validity onto any of these statements in there, nor can we say they're false. But we can certainly not validate any of these statements contained, Glennie said. Glennie claims that people are setting off more fireworks than usual leading up to the 4th are not true in Gettysburg, Adams County. We have not had any more than the normal number of firework calls that we have leading up to the 4th of July. As a matter of fact, I think we had less firework calls than we have seen in a few years. End of quote. News outlets previously asked Glennie about a flyer that warned of a flag burning in Gettysburg National Park. The flyer promotes the alleged event as peaceful protest abolish the police nationwide, but also includes the words on the flyer such as children welcome and Antifa face painting. And he quoted, and I'm quoting him again. Again, I cannot confirm that it is real or deny it is real. There are some things in there that if you look at it from law enforcement perspective, that don't fly. He said later adding, Antifa is not in the habit of face painting for children. And another quote, I would love to be able to ensure everybody out there, these are trolling posts from folks that are just trying to get them upset and scared. I truly hope that's the case, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. He said on the 4th of July weekend, law enforcement across the area will be out in force, including from the National Park Service. And quote, he said, we are going to do our best to keep you safe. That's our job. This is a statement from Gettysburg Borough Police Department. We at Gettysburg Police Department want to assure you all that we serve and that are sworn to protect that we are aware of the lengthy posts currently being circulated on various social media outlets. The post claims that the Gettysburg Police Department has confirmed that an Antifa plan. There is no truth to that statement. We have no knowledge of the validity of the post content. The Gettysburg Police Department is not aware of any law enforcement sensitive official use only bulletin. This and similar posts are being analyzed by various intelligence sections of law enforcement across the community. All right. He said, we ask folks that remain vigilant. Please contact law enforcement agency with jurisdiction in your area to report suspicious activities or things you feel are out of place. However, please do not call to report the existence of this post. We are aware of it and are investigating its origin. Now, Facebook page behind the flag burning that I just mentioned above is taken down. No permit for Gettysburg event. An anonymous run Facebook page called for a flag burning in Gettysburg has created a stir in the Hanover Adams area. Left Behind USA was started on June 2nd, 2020, and created an event calling for a peaceful flag burning to resist police in Gettysburg on 4th of July. The page and event were visible to the public through Tuesday evening. However, on Wednesday morning, a message from Facebook appeared stating that the contents wasn't available and that the link may have expired or the page may only be visible to an audience that you are not in. When reached Thursday afternoon, a Facebook company spokesman said that the page event was removed when we disabled the account behind it for breaking our rules against maintaining more than one Facebook account. The company said it's continuing to look into the situation. The event had called for supporters to show up to the National Cemetery to protest police violence against unarmed black civilians and claimed that the U.S. flag, Confederate flag, and Blue Lives Matter flag would be burned. The post also stated that supporters would be legally armed. Although the event asked for people to physically show up in Gettysburg, the details listed as an online event with over 250 people responding as going and 800 more interested. In response to thousands of people flooded the page with comments condemning the page and its posts. Even some created counter events on Facebook with the last 3 separate groups planning to organize and show up in Gettysburg on the 4th of July. A Twitter account that used the same name and posted similar message, the Left Behind USA Facebook account was suspended by the social media platform on Tuesday for violating the state's rules. A spokesman for the Gettysburg National Military Park said on Tuesday that the park had received their first permit application for the 4th. The application is for a table to hand out literature on the Constitutional Bill of Rights. The current social media fuel clash closely echoes the events played out almost exactly 3 years ago. In early June 2017, a widely shared blog that alleged Antifa had created a Facebook event declaring intentions to desecrate graves and burn Confederate flags at the Gettysburg battlefield on July 1st, 2017. The Anti-Defamation League defines Antifa as a loose collection of group networks and individuals who believe in active aggressive oppression of to far right-wing movement. All right. The Facebook event and the anger that followed it ripped through the online platform, eventually leading hundreds of people from groups including Real 3% Risen, Sons of the Confederate Veterans, Mechanized Cavalry, and Maryland Sons of Confederate Veterans to show up to the battlefield on July 1st for a free speech rally to counter any Antifa supporters. No identifiable members of Antifa showed up that day. No flags burned and no graves were desecrated. The only reported incident of violence occurred when a 23-year-old man attending the rally accidentally shot himself in the thigh with a revolver. Days before the event, representatives from a group called Central PA Antifa denied they had any involvement and said the rumors stemmed from a fake Facebook that was impersonating the organization. He said, quote, "This page is not run by Antifa, but alt-right trolls attempting to desecrate Antifa, create confusion, and attempt to stir violence," the group said. Now, my final thoughts on all this. I remember a few years back that there was a similar claim as the one I mentioned above, but it was supposed to be ISIS. I'm sure some of you remember that. I feel that this is some form of fear-mongering going on by someone that's needing attention or just to get you riled up to act on your emotions. I have reached out to many of my contacts that might have more facts and info on all this, and they tell me it's just a rumor and it's not true. I just don't want you rushing off to some place because you're mad or want to get a picture of you there. At times, we as humans create things in our own mind that are not as bad as they seem. We lock ourselves in a cage in our own mind. We must break free of that self-created jail cell and look at the bigger picture. Don't let one person talk you into doing something stupid, as I would never encourage you to act on your emotions and act in any violent way. I want you just to think about what I've said tonight. And on that note, Godspeed, Patriots. Renegade out.